One moment, everything seems normal. The next, absolute chaos. From pilots fighting extreme turbulence to passengers witnessing the impossible, these are the aviation moments that shook the world. And if they weren't filmed, you wouldn't believe they happened. Buckle up, because we're diving into the most shocking, heart-stopping, and mind-blowing aviation footage ever recorded. Let's begin with an amazing display of quick decision-making in Japan. A pilot touches down, but the landing isn't right. With no choice left, he pulls up, aborts, and might be circling back for another shot. Mishaps happen not just in the air, but even on the runway. At the start of a Formula 1 air race, his engine failed. He signaled for help, but the message never got through. What happened next was a shocking accident no one expected. Well, high-risk landings aren't just for race planes. Welcome to Courchevel, where there's no second chance. One shot at landing, or it's a disaster. This pilot barely kissed the snowy runway, but luckily, everyone made it out safely. After a smooth touchdown, this JetBlue pilot faced a fiery surprise as the wheels hit the runway. Flames erupted from the plane, but the skilled pilot managed to stop the aircraft safely, ensuring no one was harmed. A nerve-wracking moment that could have turned disastrous. As the Emirates plane descended, the shaking intensified, creating a breathtaking scene. Yet the skilled pilot managed to bring it safely to the runway despite the plane swaying. It took a tense moment, but soon the aircraft stabilized and continued down the runway, regaining control. As the plane descended too low, it flew dangerously close to security wires, raising alarms. But the pilot remained calm, skillfully guiding the aircraft towards the runway. Despite the close call, the plane touched down smoothly, showcasing precise control and quick thinking in a tense situation. Amid the powerful winds of Eunice's storm, while other planes diverted, an Emirates Airbus A380 braved the challenging weather. For 45 minutes, the pilot calmly waited outside Brighton, then expertly landed amidst 122 miles per hour gusts at London Gatwick. Despite the torrential rain and turbulence, the pilot's composure and skill ensured a successful touchdown, leaving onlookers amazed at the precision under such extreme conditions. A calm, sunny day in St. Barth quickly turned into a heart-racing moment as a low-flying plane zoomed past, barely missing bystanders. 1 second, it's peaceful. The next, a massive aircraft is skimming right overhead, close enough to make your heart skip a beat. The plane came dangerously close to a populated area before crashing into trees during its landing attempt. Luckily, no one was hurt, but with such a close call, things could have gone horribly wrong. A shocking moment where any misstep could have led to disaster. In the sky, this Boeing C-17 Globemaster III overtakes another of the same model, a risky move that requires precision. Any miscalculation could lead to disaster, showing how dangerous flying in close proximity can be if not handled with skill. A DHL Boeing 757 came in for an emergency landing in Costa Rica, struggling with a failed hydraulic system. As it touched down, control was lost. The massive jet skidded off the runway and split in half. A terrifying sight, but against all odds, everyone on board walked away without a scratch. An hour into the flight, trouble struck. A critical engine failure forced this Airbus A330 to turn back. Fuel was dumped, tension rose, and the crew prepared for an emergency landing. With only one engine providing reverse thrust, stopping wasn't guaranteed, but skill and control brought the plane safely to a halt. Strong winds turned this Airbus A350's landing into a high-stakes challenge. Just as the wheels touched the runway in Chicago, wind shear forced the pilots to abort and take off again. A routine landing became a sudden touch and go, testing skill and precision. A mysterious engine failure led a single-engine Piper PA-46 to crash into the Susquehanna River while en route to Harrisburg. The plane went down near 3 Mile Island, but both passengers managed to safely exit and stand on a wing. Despite the terrifying experience, they survived with only minor injuries, leaving everyone involved grateful for their safety. Heavy winds and relentless turbulence meant landing at a Tommy airport in a storm was nearly impossible. The Boeing 777 shook violently, forcing the pilot to abort at the last second. But giving up wasn't an option. On the second attempt, battling brutal gusts, the pilot fought through and nailed the landing like a true master. On a busy highway in Minneapolis, a pilot was forced to make an emergency landing in a small plane. In a heart-stopping moment, the plane crashed into an SUV, totaling the vehicle. Miraculously, both the pilot and the driver were unharmed, as captured by traffic cameras in real time. The stunning footage left everyone stunned by the close call. Touching down should have been the easy part, but for this T6 Texan, the trouble had just begun. A broken tail wheel spring left the pilot struggling to steer, turning a routine landing into a chaotic skid. Taking off nearly vertically from a ship in a Harrier jet is a feat of skill and precision. The pilot must expertly control the aircraft, balancing the immense power needed to lift off in such tight conditions, all while ensuring every movement is calculated to avoid disaster. This maneuver demands top-level expertise, and it's a spectacle every time. In a dramatic scene at Dublin Airport, a Ryanair Boeing 737 lost its front wheel during an emergency landing, causing sparks to fly from underneath. Despite the scary moment, all passengers safely evacuated the plane. The airline later confirmed that the incident was due to a minor technical issue with the nose landing gear, leaving everyone relieved. At Manchester Airport, the plane's landing seemed uncertain at first as it shook on approach, but the skilled pilot quickly steadied it, making a smooth touchdown. The turbulence didn't last long, and soon the flight was safely on the runway with a sigh of relief. The landing at round 121.7 United was a success. After the A380's arrival, the 737 made its approach at Manchester Airport, landing with unexpected force. The plane bounced and shook during the touchdown, creating a tense moment for everyone on board. Despite the rocky landing, the aircraft managed to stabilize, ensuring a safe arrival for all. As the jet fighter approached for landing, it barely missed a spectator, coming dangerously close to striking them. The close call sent a shockwave of tension through the crowd, showing just how thin the line is between safety and disaster in high-speed landing. Quick thinking, the plane touched down safely, leaving everyone in awe of how close the situation had come to disaster. Captured on camera by bystanders, a British Airways 777 struggles with a hard landing at London Heathrow, bouncing and making a quick touch and go. It's a tense moment, but the skilled pilot manages to keep control, showing just how crucial composure is in moments like these. Just before tragedy struck, military footage captured the final moments of a C-17 in Alaska. The aircraft struggled as the pilot's risky maneuvers pushed it beyond control. Investigators later pointed to overconfidence and aggressive handling as the cause. Right after takeoff, a Boeing 777's Pratt & Whitney engine burst into flames over Denver, sending debris falling from the sky. With thick smoke trailing behind, the pilots quickly turned back, making a safe landing. Right as the plane lined up with the runway, powerful winds took control, shaking it violently. The pilot fought to steady it, but the storm had other plans. With no choice, they pulled up, abandoning the landing for another attempt. Passengers held their breath as the aircraft climbed back into the storm, ready to face the challenge once more. Not every flight has a happy ending. Some vanish without a trace. Others defy all logic. If you thought this was shocking, just wait. The next video is even more terrifying. Click now before you miss it. And tell us, what's your scariest flight experience? We're featuring the best ones soon. Stay safe and enjoy the skies.